There are moments in life that stay with us forever. Moments so real, so terrifying, that even years later, you still wake up at night hearing the same sounds. Tonight, I'm going to share 3 true terrifying stories. Stories that didn't come from movies, but from real people. People who swore what happened to them was real. So, turn off your lights, put on your headphones, and remember, if something whispers your name from the dark, don't answer. When I first moved into apartment 9B, it felt like a fresh start. I had just broken up with my boyfriend, changed jobs, and was finally living alone for the first time. The building was old, long hallways, flickering lights, and thin walls that made every sound echo. The first few nights were peaceful, until I started hearing crying from the next apartment. Soft, muffled sobs, always around midnight. I asked the landlord about it, and he told me, "There's no one living next door. 9A's been empty for months." I laughed it off, thinking maybe the sound came from upstairs. But a few nights later, the crying changed. It turned into whispering. Sometimes it said things like, "Please, let me out." One night, I got brave or stupid and pressed my ear against the shared wall. The whisper stopped, and then, from the other side, a voice whispered back, "I can hear you too." I jumped back, heart pounding. I ran out into the hall, but 9A's door was padlocked shut, sealed with police tape. I called the landlord again. He came up, pale-faced. "Listen," he said, "don't mess with that room. There was a situation years ago. Turns out, a woman who lived there had gone missing. When police broke in, they found her body behind the wall, hidden between the drywall layers. That night, I packed my bags, but before I left, I walked past the wall one last time, faintly. Through the silence, I heard a voice whisper, 'Thank you for hearing me.' I still wonder if she was finally free, or if she found a new place to cry." This story still makes me shake when I think about it. I was 17, home alone while my parents were out for the weekend. The first night was fine. Pizza, movies, scrolling through my phone until late. But around 2 a.m., I heard something. A creak under my bed. I laughed it off, thinking it was the wood settling. Then I felt it, the mattress shifting slightly, like someone exhaling beneath me. I froze. Slowly, I looked over the side of the bed. Nothing. I grabbed my phone and turned on the flashlight, shining it underneath. For a split second, I saw an eye staring back at me. I screamed, bolted for the door, and ran outside barefoot. The police came within minutes. They searched the room, and sure enough, found signs of someone hiding under the bed. A sleeping bag, a small knife, half-eaten food wrappers. But the man was gone. Days later, they caught him to towns over. He admitted he'd been sneaking into homes through unlocked windows, watching people sleep. When they searched his phone, they found photos, dozens of them. One of me, taken from under the bed, and in the corner of the frame, my face smiling in my sleep. The police said I was lucky, but I never sleep without checking under my bed again. My uncle owned a small cabin deep in the woods. No cell service, no neighbors, just silence. Last year, I stayed there for a weekend to clear my head. The first day was peaceful. Sunlight through the trees, birds, the smell of pine. But that night, as I sat reading by the fire, I heard footsteps on the porch. Slow, heavy. I grabbed my flashlight, opened the door. No one there. The next morning, I found footprints in the mud leading from the trees straight to my cabin, but none leading away. That night, I locked every door and window. Around midnight, something started knocking on the window glass. 3 slow taps. I didn't move. Then I heard it again, this time on the opposite side of the cabin. I turned off the lights, crouched down, and waited. After a few minutes, I heard whispering, low, raspy, coming from the fireplace vent. "It's cold. Can I come in?" I ran out, jumped in my car, and drove to the nearest gas station. The clerk looked at me and said, "You came from Miller's cabin." I nodded, shaking. He said, "That place burned down years ago. No one's lived there since." I thought he was joking, until I went back with police the next morning. There was nothing but a burned foundation, blackened wood, and ashes. But my footprints were still fresh, leading right to the door that didn't exist. If you've made it this far, you faced what most people wouldn't dare to hear. 3 stories, 3 survivors, and 1 reminder: sometimes the scariest things aren't ghosts. They're the things that were once human. Which story kept you on edge the most? Comment below, and remember, don't ignore the sound that wakes you at night. This is Grandpa's story, signing off.